Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Mikey back here, and today we're going to be recapping the Hawks 76ers game from tonight. The Hawks come away with the win, 104 to 95. Great win for the Hawks, and it should have been way more of a greater margin of victory for the Hawks tonight. They took their foot off the gas at the end of the game, let the Sixers bench when Doc Rivers emptied the bench, and they came back. But the Hawks were still able to sneak away with the win, and it was definitely a better game than the box score showed. Or sorry, it was definitely a worse game than the box score showed. Both teams' offenses in the half court, especially tonight, were really bad. The shooting was awful, especially from the 3-point line. Both teams went a combined 2 for 20 to start the game on threes. Both teams started 1 for 10, which in especially in today's NBA is really rare. We also have the 76ers ended up shooting 20% from three, while the Hawks shot 23% from three. So just really, really sloppy shooting from the Hawks and the 76ers tonight. But really, the Hawks excelled in the second half and the middle of the third quarter, specifically on the defensive end of the court. It was DeJounte Murray, Aaron Holiday, and Justin Holiday in the passing lanes, creating havoc on defense and getting out in those full court transition opportunities that we've seen the Hawks get off to and have had great success this season. Onyeka Okongwu and Clint Capella tonight, both centers were excellent. Capella had another monster game with 18 points and 20 rebounds. This week, Clint Capella has been amazing. Over the last 4 games, he has 70 rebounds. He's really looking back to where 2 years ago we saw Clint Capella that could have been Defensive Player of the Year. And if we get that Clint Capella for the majority of the year, it's going to be scary. It's really looking great for Clint right now. And he, while not necessarily had the greatest night one-on-one against Embiid, nobody's really going to have a good night against one-on-one against Embiid. Embiid finished with 26 and 13 on 9 of 18 shooting, 8 of 10 from the line. But it was all the other guys. Tyrese Maxey struggled. Maxey only had 15 points on 5 of 17 shooting and went 2 of 6 from 3 of 4 from the line. And a lot of that is Clint Capella. When he drove inside, Maxey did not have those open lanes to the basket or easy layups. All of those were contested by Clint Capella, and he really just put his paw prints on this game, and he really set the defensive tone for the Hawks, which was awesome to see. Getting these rebounds allows the Hawks to get more in transition, which again, I would go back to that middle of the third quarter, fueled the Hawks to get up to what eventually became a 20-point lead, in which they almost squandered. At one point in the fourth, it came down to a 5 or 6 point lead when Shake Milton had the opportunity to go to the free throw line. But the Hawks were still able to come away with the win. Specifically, if you look at the box score here, you see John Collins 3 for 11, over 3 from 3. He's not shooting well, obviously, but 11 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. And John Collins in this game, the box score is definitely misleading. A lot of those shots that he take were end of the shot clock shots. He was forced into contested layups and late in the shot clock shots, chucking up threes, and that kind of skewed his box score a little bit. But he's not been really getting a lot of shots in general for the Hawks. His usage is way down this year, and that's been a general trend. Unfortunately for John Collins, when you have guys like DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, who are so ball dominant and pick and roll dominant, and when Clint Capella is playing this well, John Collins, and similarly DeAndre Hunter too, they kind of get lost in the offense a bit. And while I can definitely see why fans are upset with John Collins' usage and the type of shots he's getting, our offense is working right now. But tonight is a different story. I wanted to see John Collins get more touches for sure, because especially with a smaller guy, PJ Tucker, on him, he had the chance to overpower him, get those patented mid-range jumpers, those pull-up jumpers to go in. And while he didn't have a good shooting night, I know those shots will fall more often than not for JC. So I hope we can get him more involved into the offense, get him involved in a rhythm early. That'll open up other people's offenses like Trae Young was able to do tonight. Trae, while he didn't have an efficient night shooting again, as we see here, Trae went 7 for 21, 2 of 8 from 3, 10 of 10 from the line, though. That's really encouraging. Good counting stats, though, 26 and 7. And just you see that plus minus there for Clint Capella just shows how good he was on the court tonight, plus 24. But Trae Young really got his offense going early, and it opened up a lot more options for us down the stretch and into the second half. As we saw from the box score, 10 free throws for Trae Young. A lot of those were to begin the game, and he had 15 points in the first quarter. Way, way better start for Trae. And getting to the line is really important for him because it opens up, one, that floater game, which we know he's great at, and two, the lob threats, JC and Clint Capella. And because those floaters were hitting to begin the game, they allowed Clint Capella and Trae Young to have any shot they wanted really in the pick and roll. It allowed them to have this play right here, for example.
And Clint Capella against 15 rebounds and 16
So as we see here, Trae Young brings the ball up, and there's no screen here. But Capella, Georges Niang has to commit to Trae, and Capella's wide open on that lob there. If we can
Clint Capella against 15 rebounds and
look at Capella in the paint now. Look at Georges Niang has to help on the Trae floater, leaves Capella wide open for the lob, and that threat of either the patented floater or the killer lob really has the defense at Trae's mercy. And that's when the Hawks offense becomes so successful. And adding DeJounte Murray to the mix, you've got a guy who can do that as well. So if you double team Trae and you have DeJounte needed to play make, that's a plus for the Hawks. If you trap Trae and Trae gets out of that trap, gives it to DeJounte, you know DeJounte is going to make a right play more often than not. So that's what makes the Hawks so dangerous now. Going back more to the box score for the Hawks, Onyeka Okongwu in 21 minutes, great game. 10 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 5 of 6 from the field. Joel Embiid didn't really realize he could shoot the mid-ranger now. He was leaving Onyeka wide open from the mid-range, and Onyeka, credit to him, no hesitation, rising up and shooting it in his face. So awesome to see Onyeka have the confidence to put those mid-rangers up night in and night out now. And he's really been he's really been performing well aside from the Jazz game last night. Great bounce back game for him tonight against Embiid. Aaron Holiday in 24 minutes and both Justin Holiday as well. We saw Justin Holiday. He's out of a shooting slump, 2 of 4 from 3 tonight. Aaron Holiday, 2 of 5 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3. But the second half was really where they put their mark on this game. The first half, they came out, missed a couple of shots. The defensive intensity wasn't really there, I felt like. But in the second half, that changed. Aaron Holiday and Justin Holiday and DeJounte Murray, that trio really created a lot of fast break opportunities for the Hawks in the middle of the third, such as this play right here from DeJounte Murray in the third quarter.
Because of his ability to just
actually it's in the beginning of the fourth, but as we see here, Joel Embiid, lazy pass, and DeJounte Murray, being a great steal threat as he is, just gives it to Onyeka Okongwu unselfishly. And we've seen this from DeJounte Murray so many times throughout his career. These transition steals create so much momentum for the Hawks. They bring the fans to their feet. The arena gets loud, and honestly, it just creates easy offense for the Hawks, which was the key tonight because, like I said before, the half-court offense for both of these teams was just not good. The Hawks shot 44%, and that rose a lot in the second half, but we held the 76ers to 38%. Great job from the Hawks there on defense all around. For the Sixers, Tobias Harris had a good start to this game, but really was a non-factor, it seemed like, after the first quarter. He ended with 12 points, added 5 steals, though, but 3 assists and 2 rebounds. D'Anthony Melton started. He had 10 rebounds, 1 assist, and 5 points, so not the greatest night for D'Anthony Melton. Tyrese Maxey, though, definitely an odd night for him. 5 of 17 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3 for 15 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. And Tyrese Maxey, you're used to seeing him get around the defender, burst to the basket, be in the full court because he's a quick guard, really quick first step, one of the fastest guys in the league. But tonight, credit the Hawks because I believe it was DeJounte Murray playing great defense on Tyrese Maxey, and also Trae Young sometimes too was switched on to Tyrese. So credit both of those two for making life tough on Tyrese Maxey. And when he did get by them, Clint Capella and Onyeka Okongwu were there to make sure to change the shot. So all around great effort on defense against Tyrese Maxey tonight. The 76ers bench was really a non-factor. George Niang put in 9 off the bench, as well as Danuel House. But really the only guy who I felt had a great impact on his game off the bench for the 76ers was Montrezl Harrell. When he came in garbage time, which was 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, he really brought the 76ers back within 10 points and single digits and really put a scare into Hawks fans, and Nate McMillan seemed like on the bench. But the Hawks were able to pull through. He took some charges, had some dunks, shot free throws well. So credit to Montrezl Harrell for playing well when he was tasked with it. DeAndre Hunter ended with 14 points, 4 rebounds, shot 6 of 13 for the field and 1 of 3 from 3. So a decent game from DeAndre. In the first half, he was kind of missing, and like I said, that's not always his fault. The usage with DeJounte and Trae and the lob was working to Clint. So he had a good game when he was asked to do with the ball, and that step in mid range, that pump fake or jab step to one dribble mid range shot for DeAndre Hunter seems money more often than not. So I'm glad. I want to see DeAndre be more aggressive when he gets the ball and take those shots more often than not because they seem to be going in. DeJounte Murray, an uncharacteristically bad offensive night for DeJounte. 4 from 3, 5 of 13 for the field for 10 points, 8 assists, and 3 rebounds. But he'll be better than this. This is probably his worst offensive night in terms of shooting for the Hawks so far. He's been excellent to start the season, so I'm not worried about him. And the rest of the bench, AJ Griffin, only 14 minutes. He did hit a great momentum 3 in the third quarter to put the Hawks up big. And we thought that was the nail in the coffin. But like I said before, the 76ers, credit to them. They didn't back down. And the bench almost single-handedly brought them back in this game. But they did just run out of time, and the Hawks sealed it with a great lob from Trae Young from about 3 from our basket's 3-point line to a lob to John Collins. That was nuts at the end of the game there. Hopefully John is okay. He came up limping after that play. As I try to find a video footage of that play, but unfortunately they do not have it uploaded yet. But definitely check that out if you didn't find it, because that was a crazy play and a risky pass from Trae, but it worked out into a real amazing highlight that sealed the game for the Hawks. So overall, good game from the Hawks here. The defense really stepped it up in the second half, and overall in the game it was good. But the live ball turnovers that the Hawks created really stepped up and made the 76ers go down in this game big. The Hawks turned it over 18 times, and the 76ers turned it over 17 times. So not a pretty game at all in this game. But hey, the Hawks come away with the win, and that's really all that matters. A lot of those Hawks turnovers were actually in the fourth quarter when we thought we were coasting to a win. So hopefully they can clean that up. We've got to get better at closing games for sure. Good. Trae hopefully will get that shooting groove back. I'm not worried about him. He'll find that for sure. And it'll be sooner rather than later, I think. The next game for the Hawks is on Saturday. We rematch against the Sixers again up in Philly. So it should definitely be a fun game. And looking forward to another Hawks night of basketball on Saturday. I'll be back with a recap of that one for sure. And be sure to check out Recapping Hawks Hoops and Georgia Sports Nation. We're going to be going live tomorrow at 6 o'clock on Recapping Hawks Hoops, along with other people to talk about Hawks content. Also, sprinkle a bit of Braves content in that too. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed this recap. And we'll be back with another one for Saturday. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.